Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. So I'm Lynn Huber, and I'm excited to be here today. So thank you for coming with me. So today we're going to talk about developing the growth mindset habit. You know, we've been talking about habits lately, and we've been talking about, successful people, they don't just get there by accident, right? They get there by identifying their goals and integrating habits into their lives. And it's those habits that determines their success, right? So as you start making progress towards your goals, a couple of things happen. Your habits become part of your normal daily routine, and they're no longer things that you consciously need to decide to do or even think about. They just happen. Like you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth. You don't really think about it. It's just part of your routine. You do it, right? So then the other thing that happens is the success that you enjoy through those habits that you've created, they reinforce your positive changes, and they encourage you to develop new habits to propel you to even further levels of success. So, you're always looking for new habits that can help, that you want to develop to help you propel, to go to more success, right? So when you're deciding what habit to pursue, it's easy to look at all the things we shouldn't look at, or that we don't want to do, right? Like we want to stop smoking, or we want to stop stress eating, or we want to learn how to say no, or quit spending so much time on social media. And those are all, you can build habits around those for sure. And you probably want to, but then there's a flip side. How about, have you ever considered the flip side of that by building a habit that's more positive? So what if the habit that you decided to form was one of growth and personal development? I mean, believe it or not, it's a habit. Personal development is a habit, just like anything else. And having a growth mindset is also a habit. It's how you think, and you get in the habit of thinking certain ways, right? So having that growth mindset, it positively impacts your life in so many ways. So it's a great, healthy habit to build into your life. And so let's talk about some of those benefits, why you'd want to have a growth habit. So number one, you keep learning. I love learning. I just love learning. But learning is important to you because not only do you discover new ways to do things, but by making it a practice to constantly be learning, you develop new ways of thinking and new ideas. And learning connects you with more of the world, and it helps you to see things with a deeper significance than you ever thought possible. It shifts your whole mind. It changes how you look at things. It changes how you see things, But more important than that, people who stop learning, really quickly they stagnate, because they say if you're green, you're growing, and if you're ripe, you're rotting, right? When you're talking about fruits and vegetables, well, it's the same thing with us. We want to be constantly growing. We want to be green. We want to be growing. We don't want to be ripe and stagnating. So studies have shown that the practice of learning new things when you're older helps ward off problems related to things like dementia. So really, bottom line, learning is good for your brain. It's always good for your brain, right? Number two, you learn perseverance. As we learn new things, we adapt and we change how we think. And that gives us the ability to see other solutions to problems that would have frustrated us in the past. It's amazing because we push through those obstacles and we find new paths, and it puts us in a mindset of being able to do that, so that it comes more naturally because it's part of the habit of just having that growth mindset, right? So number three, you learn how to embrace challenges. So growth can be challenging. It's always challenging, but by pushing yourself to grow, that means you're also pushing yourself to look at challenges differently, because we run into challenges every single day, 100 times a day, right? And so you start looking at them differently. And when you see an obstacle, when you've developed that mindset, now that obstacle becomes an opportunity to learn something and maybe do things in a way that you haven't done before. You're more open to seeing what's around you. And I know I've talked about luck, Luck is really being in the right place with an open mind so that you can see what's coming at you so you can take advantage of it. Well, it's the same thing when you've developed that growth mindset. You've opened your mind and you're you're open to learning something new and to doing things in a way that you haven't done them before. Number 4, you learn how to embrace failure. So many people are afraid of failure. I mean, I am too, but I've gotten a lot better about that because I don't consider failure is just not an option anymore. I mean, failure is just not something that happens to me because when something doesn't work, I just find another way to do it, right? So when you're interested in growing as an individual, you start to see failure differently. Everything becomes a potential lesson in a way that you didn't think would work. So, I didn't fail. I didn't make it this time. Really, I didn't make it this time. It doesn't mean I failed. It just means, okay, I need to tweak this or that, or what can I learn to do differently, and so that I can keep moving towards the path of not failing, right? Or failing more to get to where I want to go. Because you're going to go through those failures to get to where you want to go. So number 5, this is pretty profound, really. You become more open to criticism. And I see that every day. I see that when I talk to people. But by being willing to grow, you start to see that the input of other people has significance. You start to value their words, what they say to you, because people generally, if someone's criticizing you, generally they're not so much doing it to be negative. They're doing it because they care, right? That's just something. I mean, there are nasty people out there, don't get me wrong, and you would know if they were a nasty person, but generally, they're not trying to be negative. They're trying to give you something, what they're seeing from the outside, as something that could benefit you or something you could change, right? And so if you are developing that growth mindset, you're more open to hearing that. And so you can hear what they're saying, and then it's something you can use to develop as a person and learn something about yourself. So you might not like the lesson, but then that's part of growing too. I feel like if I don't know what I'm doing wrong, how can I fix it? So I actually appreciate it when somebody brings something to my attention that's going to be helpful. Yeah, it might hurt my feelings. I might, for a second, it might be, wow, that I didn't like that lesson, but I'm so thankful that I got that lesson because now it's not holding me back anymore. So, by working on that growth mindset and embracing personal growth, you find the best version of yourself. You're able to become more than you ever thought possible. And then you can turn that around by finding out that you can become even more still. And so isn't that amazing? You just keep going farther and farther and farther. And then pretty soon you're going to find that the farthest edges of yourself are far beyond what you thought you ever could be. And you can develop yourself into something more than you ever thought possible. And so that's what I love, love, love about personal growth. That's what I love about having a growth mindset. And so if you get in the habit of being, in a growth in a growth mindset, get in that habit of trying to be open, trying to do these things, it's amazing what you can accomplish. It's amazing the person you can become. So, hey, what about you? Do you have a growth mindset habit? Share with us. Share with us what helps you. We'd love to hear it. Get down below and tell me in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you're doing. I mean, I don't have all the answers, that's for sure. And I might learn something from you. So share with us. I would love to hear it. Anyway, hey, thanks for being here with us today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.